What's up, everybody? You feel this beat right here? Here we go. Hey! We about to stamp this out. So if you feel me, come on, come on.
I jumped in my car with my bag of stamps, my punches and my apron on, driving to a house where my girlfriends wait to see my new catalog.
Yeah, you know I love it.
Here I am and it's time for me to shine. Grab my bag and I'm nervous like the first time. It all seems so crazy. I was looking for a way to make it. Now we're chilling out, having such a good time. So we're here for the very first time, making and taking, being creative, blowing everybody's mind.
I say what? Come on.
Blowing everybody's mind.
We coming at you, here we go, come on, say
we share what we love what we do. Come on, sing it with me. It doesn't get much better. Stepping out together. We share what we love what we do. Our life is good.
It's so good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're sharing it with the world.
Everybody say
yeah, yeah, yeah. We're sharing it with the world.
Sharing it with the world.
Sometimes I have to pinch myself that I can do this every day, helping someone express themselves in a new and exciting way. Downloading with my digital studio, embossing or doing the rock and roll. So many ways to take it when you're using your imagination.
Yeah, come on.
Having fun with our exclusive product lines, showing my flair with award-winning designs, sharing my passion for art and fashion. I am a rising star.
Yeah,
I am a rising star.
it's your rising star. You're coming far, going far. Come on.
Share what we love what we do. Come on, sing it with me.
Yeah, you gotta love it.
Doesn't get much better. Be a demonstrator. We share what we love what we do. Our life is
So good, so
See,
good.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We're sharing it with the world.
Everybody say
yeah, yeah, yeah. We're sharing it with the world.
sharing it with the world.
Heart and soul, I'm giving it all. Freedom to live, freedom to grow, unlimited. That's how I roll, Miss Independent. Hanging with my girls in dimension.
This is for the demonstrators, rubber stamping educators, hosting party innovators, never being imitators. Always rocking it right and never wrong. Always keeping it tight and coming strong. It don't matter where you at in the world, it's still the same thing. Bringing you the same game, stamping with the same name. German, French, Spanish, English, say A. Share it with the world, you know we stamping every day.
Share what we love what we do. Come on, sing it with me.
Yeah, you gotta love it.
Doesn't get much better. Stepping out together. We share what we love what we do. Our life is good. Sing yeah, yeah, yeah. We're sharing it with the world.
You gotta share it. You gotta share it. Come on.
Sharing it with the world.
Sharing it with the world.
Share what we love what we do.
Stepping in
Come
the
on, sing it
daytime,
with
stepping
me.
every night.
Doesn't get much better.
Stepping
Be
in
a
the daytime, stepping
demonstrator.
every night.
We share what we love what we do.
Stepping in the
Our
daytime,
life is
stepping every
good.
night.
See, yeah, yeah, yeah. We're sharing it with the world.
every night.
See, yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's how we
Sharing
do
it
it.
with the world. Sharing it with the world.
Anything is possible. It started with a dream. Our passion made a difference and built a family. We've grown strong together. You know it's all because everybody plays a part in doing what we love. You can bet it doesn't matter where you go. You find a friend who does just what they love and lets it show. One card at a time can really change the way we live. Focused on the sharing and the chance we have to give. You can do most anything, so just do what you love. Live it, share it, you know it's what you're dreaming of. What we love, what we do makes a difference in me and you. All these years of inspiration and love. Oh, how we live and what we say, it's stamping up and it's our our way to love, live, and share it today. To love, live, and share it today. Just look around and you can see it's so much more than stamps and ink. It's more than just a card you see. It's part of you, a part of me. It's creativity. So just do what you love, live it, share it, you know it's what you're dreaming of. It's what you're dreaming of, what we love.
Hello everybody. Okay, I'm gonna try this here. I'm hoping I'm live on YouTube. If you're here, hello. My internet is not cooperating, so we'll see how this goes. I did call my service provider today, and apparently he claims that there's an issue in southwestern Ontario where they're getting a lot of I can't remember what he called it, but a lot of interruption, and apparently it only happens first thing in the morning and then late evening, like early to late evening, which is kind of crazy to me. But anyway, we'll go with that for right now. So if this falls apart and this does not work, I will record it and I will post it to my page. Okay. Or I will actually probably just post it to the YouTube channel. Is probably what I'll do anyway. Because I'm going to start moving my stuff off Facebook just because it's becoming more and more complicated to do anything. Okay, so in saying that, hello, if you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Cindy Piggott and I am the face behind Stamping Chick Creations. And I am located in Ontario, Canada, in a small community just outside of a small community called Brigden. And yeah, so I am excited to be here and I'm hoping this is working. So if any of my regular fans are watching, if you could just put something in the comments just so that I know that you're here, and just say hello, and I'll see how this works on my end. So it does say I have 1 viewer, but I don't know if that's in fact true. Oh no, it says 2. So not sure if that's true or not. So again, if this does not work or if it's choppy, I will just stop and I will record the video and I will post it here on the YouTube channel. Okay, so I'm going to ask that you subscribe to my channel so that every time I upload my videos, that you will get notified that those uploads are done. I see a thumbs up, so that's fantastic. What I am going to do is I'm going to start uploading my TikTok videos on here as well. So if you don't have TikTok or don't know anything about it, I am going to start posting those here as well. So hopefully there'll be lots for you to come back and look at in the future. So yeah, so I do this every Monday night and I post the measurements on my page on Facebook, and I just give you the measurements of what we're going to design, but I don't tell you what. We generally make 3 cards when we do this, and then we just make the cards together. So you really don't know what you're making until we sit down to make it. So this card layout tonight, and I like to do a lot of things that use up scraps. So if you're new to me, you'll notice that's a lot of things that I like to do for Mystery Monday. Is we all have those pieces of paper that we just really don't know what to do with, and so I like to use those to create cards. So this is a card that I have not done in a very long time, but because I have so many new people in my group and on my page, I just wanted to make sure that I revisited it again. That's a mouthful. So anyway, so hopefully you enjoy this. And hello. Okay, so Linda, you're here. So you'll have to tell me kind of what your experience is, if this is better or not. I'm here. I've subscribed to YouTube. I don't TikTok. So it's good that you're posted here. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so that's my intent, is because I know that not everybody's a TikToker. TikTok's very new for me. So I'd like to actually just post those videos here as well to reach my regular customer base as well. All right, so this is going to be a fun one, I hope. I haven't done it in a long time, but I think it's a really great way to use up little bits of paper. Well, bigger bits of paper. Usually we do some pretty small bits of paper, but let's get started and I will see how this works out. Yes, Linda just started using TikTok. I just saw her come across my screen. I'm like, hey, I know her. So that's Always fun. Okay, so what did I tell you that you needed? I'm not even sure what I told you because I have had a very busy day. My day did not start how I had intended it to start. And it just progressively kept getting more and more crazy as the day went on. Okay, so I told you you needed a card base. Now I'm keeping mine very simple tonight. Okay, so I'm going to actually just bear with me for a second here. Here we go. Okay. All right. So your card base is just your standard card base. So it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Well, that's like folded measurements. And then I told you you needed a scrap. Now, I know you're saying, Cindy, a scrap is like the regular card size. I know. But when I say scrap, what I mean by that is that you could use any color. It does not have to be a specific color. So I'm using white for this card, and this one's going to be 4 inches by 5 1/4. I hope if I measure that correctly. And then you need a piece of white that's 1 1/2 inches by 5 1/4. And again, the thickness of this you can vary if you need to. And then I told you 6 pieces, and I'm guessing on these, I'm hoping I guessed right because I did this the other day, and I forgot to write down how many papers I actually used. So I'm pulling out the Designer Series paper, the In Color Designer Series paper for the 2022 to 2023 in color. Sorry, 2022 to 2023. Yeah, I think that's right. In colors. So this is the polished pink, which I absolutely love. One of my favorite colors. Hello, Jan, you found us. Perfect. So I told you you needed 6 pieces of these, and they were 1 1/2 inches by 5 inches. And I should have probably told you that your paper should be double-sided. If not, you're going to need more paper. Okay, so let's take your scrap. You need a paper cutter or paper trimmer. And what else did I tell you you needed? I didn't tell you, but I assumed you guys are all... you guys cannot see my screen. Hang on. Hi, Becky. Can you... My screen is not displaying. Hang on one second. Bear with me for a second. There you go. Can you guys see that now? Okay, so Linda, can you see this now with my paper trimmer here? I know you guys are a couple seconds behind me, so I think you can now. I don't know what happened there, but it was not working before. Okay, so I'm going to assume you guys can see this. And I'll go through the measurements again because knowing that you guys could not actually see my screen, which was so not helpful. Okay, Jan, can you see it now? Can you see my card base now? There should be a white card base on the screen. I hope that's what you're seeing. I'm just going to check YouTube myself here. Paula's here. Hi, Paula. Okay, so you guys are just a couple seconds behind me, so just give me a minute. There. Okay, you can see it now because it came up on my phone. Okay, so let's do this again. You need your card base that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and that's the closed card base. Okay, so we'll do this again. And then your scrap. Now this scrap can be any color. It's 4 inches by 5 1/4. I'm using white just for simplicity. Okay, perfect. And then your white is going to be 1 1/2 by 5 1/4. So that's fine. And then you needed, I'm guessing, 6 pieces. I think I'm right on this guess, but 6 pieces of Designer Series paper. So this is the polished pink from last year's In Colors. And I probably should have told you. Oh, so Tracy's watching and she can't comment. Huh. I don't know why Tracy can't comment. Tracy, maybe you have to subscribe to my channel first. I'm not sure. Because it actually says that I have less viewers now, but I know that there's more than 3 people watching. So I'm not sure how accurate this actually is. But, so these are 1.5 by 5. Okay? And you need your paper trimmer. Okay. So here's your paper trimmer. I'm losing my voice today. Sorry. Okay, so I want you to take one of your pieces of your Designer Series paper, and I want you to put it in your paper trimmer, and I'm not sure it's really going to matter which corner you cut from. I can't remember, to be quite honest, so we're going to do something a little bit, I'm not sure, Trace. That's, maybe I have to change some settings on my end, but I can get everybody else that was on my Facebook group commenting, so I'm not sure. I'll look into that for you, Tracy, but keep messaging me and I'll just keep watching my phone while we're doing this. So I'm going to start from the top left-hand corner, and I'm going to cut on a diagonal down, okay, to the other corner. So I'm cutting from the top left to the bottom right, and I'm going to cut that, okay? And I'm going to put this to the side for right now because I want to just do this in slow steps with you guys, okay? Until we kind of get the hang of what we're doing. Okay, so what I want you to do, if you have a silicone mat close by, which I just shoved mine in a drawer yesterday, you probably want your silicone mat as well. Hi, Susan! Had to take the long way around. Yeah, she says she has subscribed. Cheryl, I don't know. That's kind of bizarre. And I don't know enough about this yet to troubleshoot like over the computer like that. So I'm going to have to do some digging. Okay, so we've cut our first piece. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to take the bottom point of my card and I'm going to kind of put it roughly in the center. Now, if you wanted to measure this, Belva, hello! If you wanted to measure this to find exactly where the center is, you could totally do that, and you would like mark this bottom part. I'm not going to because I think it's going to work out just fine anyway. But the point here is I want this point to be on the bottom, okay? So I don't want it to go like this, right? Because it's going to be wonky because I cut this on an angle. I want this to be at the bottom. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually glue this one down, and now I'm going to glue, okay, that sounds great, Trace. Okay, I'm going to try this with my liquid glue. So I'm not going to glue the whole thing because I'm going to eventually cut off this top part. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of line this up here, and this is where the silicone mat's really nice, right? Because any excess glue will just go onto your silicone mat. Okay, so there's my first piece. Now, I'm going to take this piece, and I'm going to, it's the same, right? Because I just cut that. I guess this side, I don't know which side, this side. So I'm going to actually flip this over because I want this side facing, and I'm going to glue it over. And I'm going to put it right beside here. Again, lining up at the tip at the bottom. Okay. Now, if you have too much glue like I do, this is why I don't like using liquid glue, just be very, very cautious. Okay. So this is what I have so far. It almost looks like a V. Now, I'm going to take my next piece and I'm going to cut on the other angle. And I just want to see if this makes any difference as to how my paper comes together. I think when I did this card originally, I think I rotated back and forth. So this one I'm going to go top right hand down to the bottom left. Okay. And again, I don't think it really matters, to be quite honest. But again, I'm going to use this plaid side on the other side of my flowers. Lining up the bottom, so the point. Okay, see how this is coming together nice and tight. And then I'm going to put this floral, again, lining up the tip to here. Do you see where I'm going with this? It looks a little bit messy right now, but what we're going to actually do is create what they call a pinwheel card. Or, sorry, not a pinwheel card. When it says I try to comment, it says I have to create an account first. Oh, so maybe that's the same problem as what Tracy's having. Oh, do you really have to have an account to comment on YouTube? Maybe that's the problem. So Sharon, that's probably the same thing that Tracy's running into. So this is not called what did I just call it? A pinwheel card. It's not. It's called a starburst card. So essentially I'm going to keep rotating back and forth between my patterns. So now this one, I'm just going to go back and forth. So now I'm going to go top left to bottom right. And again, I don't think it matters which way I do it, but so now I'm going to go with my floral there. And again, I'm just focusing on the bottom part because I'm going to eventually cut off the top. So those of you that can comment. Oh, Belva said that's what she had to do as well. So Tracy and Sharon, you may have to create an account first. I did not know that. That's interesting, actually. So then you're just rotating back and forth between your papers. Okay, and I know it looks awful right now, but trust me, when we get done, you're going to like it. Well, I hope you're going to like it. So I'm just rotating between my plaid and my floral. And I know this one's kind of hard to see because it's like all polished pink. Whereas when I get to one of the other designs that I've got, I'm pretty confident you're going to see the difference. And I can show you one of the ones that I did but didn't finish. I'm watching you on YouTube on my TV. That scares the bejesus out of me, Janet. Nobody needs to see me that big because that is scary boo-boo. I'm telling you. How do I do that? Good question, Trace. How do I do that? How does Tracy create an account? There might be something at the top. Is there a picture of your... Is there a picture or something, Trace? Susan says she had to subscribe as well, but she's already subscribed. So I don't think that's the issue. Okay, so we're just going to go back and forth here. Now, Janet's sending me scary pictures. Oops. I just got glue on my glass, so let me take that off. Okay, so, do you guys see where I'm going with this? It looks really kind of messy right now. I know it does, but once we get it all cleaned up, it's gonna look beautiful. And we all know that my first card is not the one that I always love, right? This is usually the one that kind of leaves me a little like, I don't know. Okay, so I need a floral over here. So those of you that can comment, on the right hand side, there is the word subscribe. Click it. So Bev said, I've had issues with this before on other live YouTubes with crafters. I don't have an account, just had to subscribe. So I'm not sure what the difference would be. I would think if you subscribed, you should be able to comment, I would think. So the other thing I want to tell you is like, don't stress out about how ugly this looks right now down here because it's going to get covered up. It's just we use this as our guide, right? So that we kind of know where we're lining things up. So those of you that are watching and that can comment, can you tell me if you've ever made a card like this before? Some of you that have been with me for a while, I would say have. Okay. So now I'm going to do this piece here. So this is a good card to use liquid glue on, just because you can reposition your... When you subscribe, you can do it with your Google account. It means you can't craft with me. Oh. You can't craft with me, Bev? But you can watch me? I'm so confused. Okay, here's my bit so far. Okay. Now, I could take this and put this here, or I could just leave this all together, because what's going to happen is after we clean this all up, this is going to go here. Okay? Never. Everybody's saying no, 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 no. Nobody's ever done this. Never. Okay, sorry. The problem here is that with doing lives is that I ask a question and it takes you guys a couple minutes to respond, and then I forget that I asked you the question. That's the sign that I'm getting very, very old. Yes, it is. It's okay. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to trim off this excess. So I'm going to grab my glue scissors, I hope. Yeah, right here. Okay, because I forgot to tell you guys need glue scissors or icky scissors, because look how ugly this is on the back. Okay, now you can kind of wipe off some of that. And of course, you don't want to do this through your paper trimmer, right? We've discussed this because it makes your blade all icky. I'm going to cut this up just so that, there, like that. Now, you can keep these pieces that I'm cutting off here, because you could use that for something else maybe. I'm not going to, because I think I have about 6 packs of this paper. So, I've got lots and lots of this. But definitely keep your little bits if you think you're going to use them. Okay, so again, this card looks very... Oh, okay, that's why you can't. Desktop upstairs is far from any crafting spaces or materials. So, Bev, can you watch me on your tablet, though, on YouTube? I'm curious. Okay, so here we go. So this is what we have. This is a hard one to look at because it's pink on pink, okay? Not going to be my favorite. But I'm going to show you one that I did that's not finished. But I did this one. And look how fun that is when it's completely contrast, right? And then if I take my... Well, I'll show you. I didn't finish this one because I was having a bad stamping day. But this would go like that. See how it's overstamped here? Right? Can you see that? Okay, there. So it's kind of fun. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in your white scrap or your white piece that I told you. And I'm going to try to make this a thank you card. I'm going to make all my cards thank you cards tonight, I think. Maybe. We'll see. And this set that I'm using is called Go-To Greetings. And it's got the same sentiments, same 4 sentiments in 3 different fonts. And I just love it because it's like the most common fonts. And I love the fonts that are on there. So we don't have anything like this thank you one that I'm using right now. So I'm just going to grab my... You know what? I was going to do this in polished pink. I'm not. I'm going to do this in black because I feel like the polished pink is going to be way, 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 way too much for this card. Okay. So I'm using my grid paper to line up my paper underneath. Okay, so then I'm going to put this here. So I'm just lining this up Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim off this here because you can see these little bits right here. Yeah, there, like that. Okay. So then I'm going to put this down like this. And that kind of breaks up all that pink, right? So where's my glue? So we know this is not going to be my favorite card, right? Because when we go to vote, the first card is always the card that we don't like the most. It's just how it goes, right? And then this would go on here like this. Okay. Oh. So Susan says I'm cutting in and out. Oh, okay. I see. So apparently, what I got told from the guy at my supplier, my internet supplier today, is that there's a lot of people having problems. There's some sort of a, oh, what did he call it? There's an interference of some sort. And they're trying to figure it out. Oh, he said it and I can't think of it. Yeah, this one's not a good example. I should have used two totally different colors, Cheryl. Okay, so let's forget this one. Let's move on to the next one because I think the next one will be prettier. But you see, this is the effect that we're going for, right? Okay. I just found that paper and I thought, oh, I have not used that paper in a very, very long time. Okay, so let's do another Abigail Rose paper because this one as well, I'm not sure how I feel about it. Okay, so I'm going to put that to the side. So for this one, this is a color I have not used very much of. And this is actually gray granite. And the reason, yeah, it's it could be my internet too, guys, or it could be the internet because apparently there's a lot of radio, I think he said like radio frequency or something, static, or I don't know, he said something, and at the time it made sense to me. But so this is gray granite, not a color I use very often. I'm going to use white again as my scrap, my white, and then for my paper, the reason I'm using gray granite is because this side is kind of like the soft suede type color, crumb cake, but then this side is gray. So kind of a compromise I figured would be the gray granite because it kind of would maybe do both. I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll see. If I don't like it, I'll pick a different card base. Okay, what am I doing here? I'm going to take this and let's start cutting. Okay, so now if you want to cut yours, if you want to cut all your papers first, you absolutely can. I'll maybe just cut a couple just to get me going, and then I can always cut more as I need. So I'm hoping that it's cutting in and out a little bit less. So Paula says she's on her iPad and not having any problems. So I'm wondering if those, but see, Deb's in town. I was going to say, I'm wondering if those that are in the rural area are having more problems, but that does not hold true either. I think it just really depends on how many people are in your area. I honestly, because the poor gentleman I spoke to today was like, he didn't know what to tell me. So he did some digging and he said, oh, your speeds are just fine. I said, yeah, they are right now. From 7 to about 9, they're awful. And then at 9 o'clock, they seem to be fine. And then from about, I would say about 6:30 until like 11, 12. Well, I go to bed after that, so I don't know. It's terrible again. So I'm not sure if it's like the trees or if it's, I have no idea. I'm really guessing here. Okay, so we'll see how this pattern turns out because these two they're different colors, but they're not drastic different. So I'm curious to see how this one works. Okay. So we have the gray and the crumb cake. So the first one I did, I used that Abigail Rose, and I used the 2 contrast, and I just randomly picked the colors because that's what I had. So it might be very interesting to see how yours turn out. Is anybody having any problems with these measurements or anything, or the instructions that I'm giving you? Are they making sense? It's interesting. It always looks so ugly when you are at this stage of the card. iPad cutting out. Isn't that? And I don't know on YouTube if it would come back clearer. Like I know sometimes on Facebook when you go back to watch it again, it is a little bit clearer. I'm not sure how that works on YouTube. I was hoping this was going to kind of be the solution to the issues, because Facebook is changing things. I can't even go live on Facebook anymore. It's such a rigmarole. You have to enter in a product key and I don't know what else, and I'm like, I just want to go live. You know, it's just, and they're changing so many things. It's just incredibly frustrating. So I was hoping this would be it, but possibly not. So what I might end up doing is I might just end up pausing Mystery Mondays. Oh, okay. I might end up pausing Mystery Mondays until we can kind of get this resolved. And I'll just go back to shooting some videos of different projects that maybe you can like just watch along with and then just create with. That might be the compromise until we can get this figured out. I did ask about a Wi-Fi extender if that would help, and he didn't seem to think that would be helpful, because he said you're getting good signals. And I'm like, but I'm not. Right? So I'm not getting good signals because, yeah. Anyway, so that might be what we'll have to do. We may just have to put a pause on Mystery Monday until further notice, until we can get this resolved. All right, so let me see here. But then I could just post a new video every Monday. That's always a good compromise. Now, I did not put enough glue to the end of my paper here, which was not very smart on my part. So if you're doing this, make sure you're putting glue far enough up, but not all the way to the top. Okay. Okay. So there's this one. So it's a little different. It's a little lighter, right? So I think what I'm going to do for this one, I think I'm going to use soft suede as my color for this card instead of the black, because there really is no black on this card. So I think I'll use soft suede. Oh, and this one's juicy. Okay, so this stamp set, I have to watch because it wasn't not cut properly. I can't even speak. It wasn't cut properly, so I get a little bit of overcut stamping on this one. It says only 3 on now. See, and on mine it says 6. Isn't that funny? It's 7 now. So I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know if those numbers are really accurate, to be quite honest. Getting some cutting out, but it doesn't stay out as long as Facebook had it. Is just now, like the video is catching up with itself. Huh, interesting. Okay, so it is a little bit improved, but it's not. Yeah, I'm gonna probably buy the extender, whatever, the booster, whatever, I don't know. whatever the heck those things are called. Just because our ring system is not, I can't get any video on my ring system either, which is not very, making me feel warm and fuzzy. Because when I walked out of the studio the other night, I could hear somebody talking, and it was the man that owns the property, the next property over. He must have been outside having a conversation, and I could hear him, and I thought he was in the backyard, and I just about had a heart attack. So Chris said maybe we'll have to do an in-person. Always look forward to card making with friends. Well, Chris, funny enough that you should say that, because I might have a big announcement coming up in the next few weeks. So you'll have to stay tuned. But if you want to do in person, I will still do virtual no matter what. If you're looking for in person, stay tuned. Because there's lots of exciting things coming this fall. Just so everybody knows. I have been working very hard behind the scenes. So Shirley's just said her internet sorry, I have a spam. I have a spam message on my phone. You're not cutting out at all, and I'm watching you on my tablet. Okay, so Shirley said my internet was out from Friday night to Sunday morning. Yeah, so I mean, honestly, I think it's just the internet companies just can't keep up anymore. I think they kind of just were able to, because I will tell you, even at work, on the network, I can't always log in either. And I said something to my boss, and she said, yeah, it's because, before COVID, we weren't on all these team calls and stuff, all these video things. And now everybody's on video calls. So the system can't actually keep up. And I was like, oh, lovely. Okay, so now I could make this piece a little bit more narrow if I wanted to, but I actually like this. I like how light it is. And I might put like some butterflies or something. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about this. But I do like this one a lot better than the first one. Okay. All right. So we know number one is not going to be in the running tonight, right? Okay, so I told you 6 pieces, and I guess you really only need 5 pieces. So for this one, I'm using Sweet Sorbet. It's been changing numbers. I know, I've been watching it too, Bev, and it's like, but drastically changing numbers. Like down to 2 and then up to 7 or 8. Sweet Sorbet is the color that I'm using here. And I'm using, I forgot I had this paper. It's the teacup paper. And I completely forgot that I had it. So I thought, okay, this could be a fun one to do because these will be completely different, right? So I have a feeling this is going to be my favorite one. Okay, and then I got my white, and then I got my scraps. So I'm using white for my scraps for all of these, okay? So I'm going to put this out of the way for a second. I'm going to put that out of the way for a second and put that there. And I'm going to cut my paper. So if your paper is directional, when you go to cut your measurements, you need to just make sure that you're cutting like your 1 1/2 piece. Just keep your directional pattern in mind when you're doing that. Oh, you got a boot. Okay, from Staples. Okay, so the booster is different than the extender, correct, Linda? I am not techie. I used to be up on all this stuff, but it's changed so quick for me. I can't even keep track anymore. So I think the booster kind of helps. I think it kind of helps boost it, whereas the extender kind of is more for dead spots. Is that right in your house? Much better than Facebook as it's freezing very brief. Okay, perfect. That's good to know. Okay, that's the feedback I need because I don't know. I don't know like what you guys see, right? I do know though that I was doing a video for my team tonight because Monday nights I always do a catch-up video for them on all the changes and stuff. And I went to go live on Facebook, and it kicked me out about like 2 minutes in. It said your internet connection is unstable, and bam, kicked me right out. And I was like, what? So I turned off the modem and restarted it because that's what the gentleman told me to do today. He said a lot of times that will kind of help, which I don't know, whatever. But, oh, okay, so if I'm going directional here, I need to watch. Okay, so here's a good point. I did not notice this because none of my other papers were directional. So, and I hope this one, yeah, shoot, I should not have put that one like that. Okay, so I'm putting my sweet sorbet here. My teacups, if I use one of these teacups that's cut from the top left to the bottom right, I need it to go this way. Well, now my teacups are upside down. So you want to be very careful when you're cutting your paper that's directional. So now I have to go top right or top left to bottom right to get my teacups going in the right direction. So these ones are going to have to be my back sides. Does that make sense? So these ones, I'm going to have to put these ones in 2 separate piles. Now I think I'm going to have to cut more paper. So I have to be very careful when I cut my paper. I don't know if anybody else has found that. So this is probably a better one to do with less directional, like, print on it. I wasn't even thinking. I'm just talking and putting my cards together. But that is going to make a big difference. So now I have most of them going the wrong direction. Oh well. It's just paper. They make it every day. That's what I always say. Okay. So, sweet sorbet. So this sweet sorbet, I was not sure I was going to like it. To be quite honest. Because I was like, it's kind of like a weird red. But I really like it. It's like not real red, and it's not cherry cobbler. Because it's sweet sorbet. But no, seriously, it actually is a very, very nice color. Okay, let me see here. So this one's coming together really nicely. Okay, so now I have to make sure that I cut my paper from here to here, but either way, I'm always going to end up with one. Right? Because if I cut from here to here, that will be wrong, but that one will be right. So I guess either way, it doesn't matter. Because if I cut from here to here, it's going to be the same thing. Okay. So if you're doing a directional pattern, learning for me is you're always going to have one that's not going to work. One side is not always going to work. So you're going to need twice as much paper just to make sure you get your pattern going the right direction. Now, in saying that, however, yeah, I'll be okay. Okay, nope, I'm going to be fine. Yep, let me know, Linda. I'm very interested to know. So, Bev, you're saying quality of video is more pixelated on my desktop. Really? Wonder why that would be. Oh, that's not glued. I wonder if that might have something to do with the internet, like the speed it's coming in at. Listen to me trying to pretend I'm all techie. I have not a clue what I'm talking about. I know nothing about technology. You need to know about a SharePoint site, I can help you out. But other than that, no. Okay, so Becky said she's busy with her projects and the interruptions are very brief and way better than Facebook. Thank goodness. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Okay. And again, it could be, you know, the time of day. I don't know. I don't have a clue. All I know is that technology is a fantastic thing when it works, but when it doesn't, oh my goodness, it's frustrating. My husband this morning was trying to check the weather, and he couldn't even check the weather on his phone, and he was throwing out barn words, and he says, you better call that internet company this morning because this is ridiculous. And which I know. I mean, he has a short window to check the weather to know if he's cutting hay or not, or so I get it, but oh my gosh, so frustrating. Okay, so here we go. And my pretty rainbow. This is really pretty. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about those bottom pieces because I'm going to cover those up with my white, right? But if I really wanted to, I could take like these pieces here and fill those in, right? If I wanted to, but I'm not going to because it's going to get covered up. Okay, here we go. All right. So if you have strips of paper, this is a great way to use them. All right, so here we go, and this is going to go here. I'm going to cut off this piece here, though, because these little bits, little tails, they bug me. All right, so let's do some stamping. So what color? I'm going to use Sweet Sorbet. No, actually, you know what? I'm going to use, where's my In Color Club girls? I'm going to use Starry Sky because I want to bring out the Starry Sky in the teacups. That's Orchard Oasis, but that's Starry Sky. So if you're in my In Color Club, you know. Oh, there's something on my stamp. Hang on a second. I gotta find it first. If you're in my In Color Club, you know that I love this color. So I was very happy when Bev said, can we do this color next? I was like, yes, of course we can. I love it. Okay. See how nice and dark it is? The contrasts go with the DSP, yeah. Linda said, I have just been cutting top right to bottom left, and my directions are fine, so which are just stripes. Okay, so perfect. So I guess it does not matter which direction you cut your paper. And honestly, I was just going back and forth, so I wasn't paying attention, so that's fantastic. Yeah, this is so pretty. Okay, this one might be my favorite. But I do like the second one. Oops, daisies. My fingers are all sticky from the liquid glue. Okay. Here we go. Now, this is pretty white contrast. Like, it's pretty stark to me, but now, if I wanted to, actually, what I could do is I could run this through an embossing folder too, like the subtle embossing folder or something like that, and it would just add more texture to it. So if you wanted to do that as well, you could. Yep, this might be my favorite. It just might be my favorite. No, I don't want to do that. Okay. I'm getting like bombarded with messages from all these different groups. So I just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody's that needs me right now. Okay, this is a very, very dry wipe. A very, very dry baby wipe is what I was trying to say. Okay, so I think I still love the Abigail Rose as my first, to be quite honest, but this teacup one is definitely in the running for first. Okay, let me close up my glue so we don't I'm going to throw these ones out. There we go. All right. This one over here. Are we ready to vote? I feel like these cards went together super duper quick tonight. Is that just me that feels that way? Okay. So, yeah. This one is a definite right? I would say don't do two coordinating colors. I mean, maybe if I embossed it, I might like it a little bit more, or add some like rhinestones or something to it. Maybe. This one I really, really like because it's so soft. It's really pretty. So I'll, and again, I think maybe because this is so wide, I think I would maybe make this a smaller strip maybe next time. But of course I could add my rhinestones onto here, my gold gems, right? Because it's very pretty. Very, very pretty. This would make a really nice sympathy card too, actually, instead of a thank you card. But this one, I think is definitely my fave. Yeah, I think so. Okay, and then there's this, like this is my very first one. So you can see with the like completely drastic colors, different colors, the full effect of that one. Okay, so let's vote very quickly. So 1, 2, and 3. And if you can't comment, you can just send me a quick message, and I'm looking at my messages. Sorry, I'm just trying to clean off my desk as well. So 1, 2, 3. Maybe I should do this, so it's kind of in order. And I know it takes you guys a second to get caught up, so you guys go ahead and if you wanted, you could emboss your thank you strip with something subtle. Yeah, definitely. Okay, oh my, I just used sun prints with the blue stripe, and I'm loving this one. Oh, sun prints! I gotta use a sun prints paper. Just type that. That's funny. Bev, you and I are on the same wavelength. I don't know if that's scary or a good thing.